prophecy being fulfilled.
This is
it's just
you know what? No, that being said,
but the ass one is the closest one you're
What's
gonna
up,
get
world?
to an actual
This is my
fulfillment.
I haven't been on YouTube in a long time.
honestly,
I
host, you brought up the
apologize
best
for my
one, and it's that one.
to my subscribers. I'm putting some things together. I'm grabbing certain audiences from Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, because for some reason YouTube does not give me my propers. I got over 10,000 views, and I'm not getting back anything out of YouTube. My account's been hacked. They've been taking my money. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just get you some basic content and let y'all hear my conversations with these people in TikTok. And what I want you to understand, how they're avoiding my presence, how they're avoiding letting the truth get in. They're all in their worldly information, and nobody's talking about experience and affirmations with the word, living the word, and putting them through different tests in their individual life. So what you're going to hear, and what I'm going to hear, and what we're going to chime in on, is what they're not saying. Let's see how they respond to these questions. You ready? Let's go.
So let's read the Bible and see who the Messiah is actually supposed to be and what they're actually supposed to do. Because the New Testament creates a whole new doctrine, just so you know. Okay?
not at all. It doesn't at all, actually.
Okay, well, let's just stick with the Tanakh, the Old Testament then, and you can prove to me that the Messiah is actually supposed to unalive for the world's sins and take everybody's sins upon him and then come back and rescue us all from some Satan guy. Can you prove that using just the Old Testament?
Oh, can you remind them how what God said about Abel's blood before they speak? Warning.
Well, yeah, you heard Abel's blood calling from the ground.
So, blood. God don't play using blood after he cursed Cain for spitting blood, and you're pleading blood, so you are the seed of Cain technically. I agree with you, host.
There's no forgiveness of sin without the remission of blood.
That's what you said. Well, God said, "Don't spill blood."
That's Leviticus.
Well, Cobain, actually that's incorrect because you go to Ezekiel 8.
Incorrect according to what? Do you adhere to the scripture? Because right now you just said you don't even know if there's a God. So what do you mean incorrect?
Well, have you read Ezekiel 18 verse 20? Let me read it to you. Maybe you haven't. Let me go to that. Do you have a final thought in Zechariah 9? Do you still think Jesus fulfilled that, even though the guy is supposed to win a war and there's supposed to be world peace?
And he still get killed.
On the most layman's terms, I mean, you were suggesting that there was no prophecy fulfilled by Jesus. I took you to just one of them, and you're you know.
I just want your final thoughts on that. I showed you why I don't believe he did it, because there's no world peace. He didn't win a war, as it says in Zechariah 9. He didn't do anything except ride on a donkey, which anybody could do.
Can anybody find somewhere where Jesus has prophets? Where, if Jesus is God, where did he send prophets and not apostles?
He said, if Jesus is God, where does he send prophets?
We're not talking about if he's God. We're talking about if he's a Messiah. Because if he's not the Messiah, he's definitely not God either.
Exactly. Well, what they're saying is the Messiah incarnated into a God. So this God, Messiah, one word,
no, the God
right?
Incarnated into the.
Okay, it's the same thing. If you're saying he incarnated into a Messiah, okay, so where's his prophets? If God has prophets all through the Old Testament, how come there is no more prophets in the New Testament? Where did he change his attributes?
A prophet is somebody who testifies to things to come. He came.
No, it doesn't mean that. It does not mean that.
What do you mean it doesn't mean that? Of course it means that.
It does not.
It's ridiculous.
Okay,
what are you talking
we're
about?
off topic.
No, host. We're on the same topic.
That's common sense.
Listen. We're not arguing the God thing. That can go on all day. But what's clear is whether he's a Messiah or not. That's why that's the topic. Okay? Let's stick with the Bible and see if he's actually the Messiah or not.
Hey, host, but God didn't make him the Messiah. That's all we're saying. That's why he can't be Messiah or God. That's all.
Yeah, so I'm focused on Messiah, because if he's not the Messiah, he's not God automatically.
Exactly.
So, two birds with one stone, okay? So, Cobain, you said there had to be a shed of blood to have forgiveness of sins. But in Ezekiel 18, verse 20, it says this: the one who sins is the one who unalive. The child will not share the guilt of the parent, nor will the parent share the guilt of the child. The righteousness of the righteous will be credited to him, and the wickedness of the wicked will be charged against him. But if a wicked person turns away from all their sins they have committed and keep all my decrees and does what is just and right, that person will surely live. They will not be unalived.
Hallelujah.
All you gotta do is turn away right there. There's no blood needed, no sacrifice needed whatsoever.
Wait. You don't see what you just did there?
I just read what it said.
Yeah, exactly. The answer is in what you read.
I got your back, host. I got your back, host.
Okay, thanks. So go ahead, Cobain.
Okay, so I want to read it. I'm going to read it back to you because I don't want to ask you to keep on reading it. So I'll pull up the.
Okay, go ahead.
Ezekiel what?
18 verses 20 through 21. That's just part of it. There's more.
Why don't you drop the one that says, "Out of Israel I've called my son," or whatever? What's that one?
The soul that sinneth, right? It shall die.
What scripture say, I will never forsake you?
Come again?
Unalive.
Right.
The scripture that says,
the son shall not bear the iniquity of the father, neither shall the father bear the iniquity of the son. The righteousness of the righteous shall be upon him, and the wickedness of the wicked upon him. But if the wicked will turn from all his sins that he hath committed, and keep all my statutes. What are the statutes?
His laws.
Right. And do that which is lawful and right, he shall surely live. So let me ask you, is one of the statutes to sacrifice?
Well, the problem is when Ezekiel wrote this, they were not in the land. There's no temple, so they could not sacrifice. So Ezekiel's telling them, all you got to do is turn away from your sins. No sacrifice needed.
Can I chime in on that right there real quick, host?
Yeah, go ahead.
Part of the 10 Commandments was do not use divination. So when he used necromancy to raise Lazarus, he was condemned. Now also in Hebrews 13, it says this: I will never forsake you or leave you. This is after the death. And Deuteronomy 31, 9 and 31:8, God promises, if you do these, I will not forsake you. So when your Messiah, Jesus, or your God says, Eloi, Eloi, sabachthani, what is he doing to God? He is saying, my God, why have you forsaken me?
Okay, hold on.
So who is he?
So
hold on, let me finish. So if the promise in Hebrews and the promise in Deuteronomy, are you saying that Jesus broke, or saying that Jesus said that God is a liar? When he said, why have you forsaken me? When he made that promise that I will never forsake you?
Yeah, he was just quoting the Psalms.
Oh, no. Don't. You can't say what he said.
My God.
Stick
He's
to the
not
word.
saying to God, you have forsaken me.
Who is he talking
and
to?
What was going on is as he's being tortured to unalivement, to take his mind from the pain.
That doesn't work, sir. Sir. That doesn't work because they gave him
many
vinegar and
verses
wine
to
on the
take
sponge.
Mind from the pain.
Sir, they gave
and
him
then they just
vinegar and
remembered
wine
him
on the
saying
sponge.
that, and they created a theology around it.
Hey, sir, they gave him wine and a sponge and told him to drink it for the pain. So that's not going to cut it. He literally got up there and said, why have you forsaken me? You cannot rearrange the man's
why
words.
have you forsaken me? He quoted that verse, and he quoted many other verses.
Who did he quote from, though? Get the verse. Who did he quote that from? Find it in the Bible where he quote that from.
It's in Psalms, dude. It's literally.
Read it. Read it in Psalms where it says that Jesus should not be forsaken.
There's a psalm that says, "From
Get
David,
it.
my God,
Get
my
it.
God,
Get
why
it.
hast
Get
thou
it. Get
forsaken me?"
it. Get it. Get the scripture and read it to the panel.
No, you can look. You can do your research.
No,
I
just read it from Hebrews. It was in the New Testament, in the Old Testament, that I will not forsake you. That is the promise of believing in God as children.
Well, David was apparently forsaken because David wrote in the Psalms, my God, why hast thou forsaken me?"
And you know what David? And you know what David did? He spilled too much blood, and God said you cannot build the temple. So anytime you spill blood, you cannot build a temple of God. So go Solomon, David, Cain, and Jesus. Next.
All right.
I yield the
let's
floor,
get
host.
back to the Messiah concept, guys. Back to the Messiah thing. All right. So, Cobain, you gave one verse, didn't work. History Han, you don't believe in Jesus, right?
No, I believe in Jesus.
You believe he's the Messiah?
I don't believe he was the Messiah. He never claimed to be the Messiah.
Okay, let's look at that. Let's look at that. Because that's probably pretty important. You don't think he claims to be the Messiah. Doesn't Peter call him the Messiah?
Book of Maccabees called him Messiah too. Maccabees chapter 4, verse 6.
That's great. Doesn't Peter call him the Messiah, History Hound?
When?
Oh, I thought you knew. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I don't, the Bible's not my favorite book. I don't consider the Bible to be the best book when it comes to Jesus' life, but even according to the scriptures,
Well, we're not going by the Urantia book. That's
what I go by. That's my religion, so that is what I'm going to go by.
Okay, well, you're not going to be able to add anything to this then, because we're going.
I know the Bible better than you, though, so I don't think
really, but you didn't know that Peter called him the Christ. And you know
it doesn't really matter because
okay,
Matthew,
you knew it better than me, but you didn't know that Peter called him the Christ. That's interesting.
But we also
where does he say it? And I wouldn't be surprised if he did, but
we also have to understand that Peter's name was changed from Simon. So why did all these name changes? We have to understand that. Before the name changes, who was these people? And when they got their name changed, who are they? Just like today in America, where you got the American Indian are called Black and African Americans. You got the Native Americans being called Indians, but they're from over in Siberia. So the name change is nothing new. Hence, 2 Maccabees chapter 33 and 4.
Right. Matthew 16:16. Let me read it to you.
And then listen. While he's looking for that, can anybody look for the guy Jason, a.k.a. Joshua, a.k.a. Jesus, who stole the throne from Ananias, who became the Messiah in Antioch, what in Antioch called Christians?
So, host, even if you do find a verse that says
16:16, here it is.
No, hold on, go ahead. I'll concede before it even exists.
Okay.
Because again, my claim was Jesus never claimed to be the Messiah. So if you come to the verse, even if I'm I'm saying according to the Rancher book, but in the Bible. But hold on, even according to the Bible, that's not a verse saying I'm the Messiah from Jesus. That's Peter claiming that he's the Messiah.
Well,
Sorry.
Let's read it. Hold on, let's read it.
In the book of Antioch.
I won't split hairs. I'll
No, buddy.
Antiochus made Jesus Messiah.
You told me you knew more than me and I was wrong, so let me read it here. Simon Peter answered, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." Jesus replied, "Blessed are you, Simon, son of Joel, for this was not revealed to you by flesh and blood, but by my Father in heaven. And I tell you that you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades will not prevail against it.
It looks like that ass gets paid off.
I'll give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. Whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loose in heaven." Then he admonished the disciples to not.
Okay, I'll agree with you, host. I agree with you. But again, my claim still stands. Jesus never claimed to be the Messiah. The Bible's not reliable. And Matthew obviously thought Jesus was the Messiah and was completely wrong. And so, I mean, it's according to the Old Testament, using his midrash stuff. So,
can we use the Ten Commandments where it says, "Do not covet another man's property"? In Matthew chapter 6, verse 33, they promote seeking God's kingdom. Isn't that true? Seek ye first the God's kingdom, where it says in Deuteronomy, "Do not covet another man's property." So if you covet God's kingdom and not search his face, then that means you're what? Breaking the covenant. So
what are you all going on about? We're talking about whether Jesus is the Messiah.
Exactly. In Matthew, Jesus teaches as the Messiah that to seek God's kingdom. Is that not true?
That what is God's kingdom?
Well, let me repeat myself. Jesus taught, according to the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 33, to seek God's kingdom. Is that not true?
Yeah.
Okay. The same Messiah who claims to be God and everybody said he's Messiah, is it not in the same God's law that says, "Do not covet another man's property"?
Sure.
Okay, now, when we talk about Jesus and God and men, who is seeking God's kingdom and not his face? That's how we know who the Messiah is. Who's teaching to seek the face of God and not the property, which is the kingdom? That's the key right there. And you go along to your answer, host. Is Jesus the Messiah? Yeah, he's the Messiah if you're seeking the God's kingdom, but he's not the Messiah if you're seeking God's face. So there's two Messiahs in the same room. Remember, in the beginning, the devil wanted to be what? As God. And in Babylon, what they do? They raised a tower, church, or building made of bricks or stone, and did what? They built a house or tower to war against God, taking from his kingdom, put themselves as God, put themselves in his kingdom, and rule over his world. That's their plan. And it's right here in Jesus. Mark chapter 6, verse 33, that confirms that they want God's kingdom and not his face. Seek God's kingdom. Jesus said, the disciples said, not the prophets, to seek God's kingdom. Check it out. It's in the book. New Testament. I yield the floor.
Okay. All right. Thanks for that. All right. So I take it are you a Tanakh only person, Swiggle?
No, sir. I'm from the hearts of men, and we love the truth. God said, I love the truth. So if you're not going to tell the truth and be able to, for us to be able to humble ourselves, to accept the truth and research for ourselves, then me personally, I would be out of line. So I'm a man of truth, sir.
You're what?
I said I'm a man of truth, whether I like it or not.
You read for your faith.
Trust is my faith. I trust in faith. I trust in the truth. I trust in seeking God's face for my own personal self. Hence, we know what's righteous.
What books do you read?
Oh, we read the Bible. We read the Quran. We read the Apocrypha. We read the Torah. We read the Holy Bhagavad Gita. We read the ancient text of Abraham, the ancient text of Adam and Eve. We have the lost books of the real Messiah, Hosea. We have the other ancient books of Antioch, where they call them Christians. We have the ancient Greek text from Plato and Socrates. We have the books from Philadelphus. We have the books from Alexander the Great, who broke up the kingdom from the kingdom of Seleucid, who created Christianity. We have all that books. I read all those books that developed the Bible, where I have the power to make these statements.
Okay. Why don't you tell me the origin of the Logos then?
Well, the word logos is actually Greek, where they had their own form of logos. But the actual logos was actually the word of God that was put in our heart. Because he said, I would write my words and my tablets on your heart. And you would know them by how they live from their heart and not their mind.
Can you tell me the origin of that Greek word logos before Christianity?
Logos,
Logos,
I just explained to you. Logos in its nature was to categorize and write letters and tablets in the Greek form. Hence Septuagint 71 or 72. That's their logos or logo, their stamp, their iconography.
Okay, I thought you read Plato. Okay.
I did. I got the book right here. Called The Great Dialogue of Plato. I have it right here.
Which book of Plato do you have right there?
I have The Great Dialogue of Plato by Penguin Books. And I have the book called The Paradise Lost and Paradise Gained.
Paradise Lost is not Plato.
I didn't say it was.
Well, I'm talking about Plato.
I just tell you I get that book, but I also have the book that complements it called Paradise Gained and Paradise Lost. Obviously, you don't know about the connection.
I don't know about the connection. I just think you're kind of making stuff up.
Ask me a question, and you can go to the scriptures.
I did ask you a question. The origin of the logos.
I just told you.
Give it to me.
I just told it's Greek. Logos mean to write. Logos mean a character. They're writing a book or characters called the Seven Tragedies. Are you familiar with the Greek Seven Tragedies before the Logos?
No, I'm familiar with Plato using logos as reason, and the Stoics talking about logos, and then it was adapted by Philo Alexandria.
Okay, so right. So
Hellenistic Jew.
Right. So when Socrates came to Greece, right, and they start talking about reason. Why did they make reason illegal? Matter of fact, to reason is illegal in America right now. It's on the law books. It's illegal to be reasonable.
Messiah? No.
Okay, buddy, we're going to get back to the Bible.
All
We're
right.
kind of all over the place.
Well, you asked for logos. What?
Yeah, but you didn't give me the definition. I had to give it to you.
You didn't give me no definition. Listen. It's like this.
I showed you
You're talking from a Western brain. I'm talking from an Eastern brain where the language started from. Greeks wasn't even around when my ancestors was around. So you cannot tell me about our logos. You got that from
Who's your
our
ancestors?
you got that from our
Let me guess.
bloodline. Come
Let
on.
me guess. I bet I know who your ancestors are. Who are your ancestors? Let us know.
I'm a Cherokee Blackfoot, American Indian. Bloodline of Ephraim and Manasseh. American Indian. Bloodline of...
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
That's
Time he
why.
left, and he iced
See?
it.
Got mad.
Just the messenger, don't shoot me.
See how they do? They get upset. They didn't want to go to the origin of Antioch and Antiochus and Antiochians. They didn't want to go back to Philadelphus. They didn't want to go back to the Four Kings. They didn't want to go back to Alexander the Great, where he's talking about logos. So we was already doing something before Alexander came to Asia. We was already doing something before Alexander and them came to America. We was already doing something before the Europeans came, but they hung up. That part. That part.
To your TikTok. Go to the Black plus sign.
That part.
In the sense, like, him after his crucifixion, the flesh as well, so he no longer possessed the human nature, which would restore him to his full glory.
Okay, so when you say God died on a cross, what do you mean by that?
I explained it earlier how the death would be the separation of spirit from flesh, so we believe that the flesh would die on the cross and the spirit of God ascended.
So you believe that flesh dies?
Yeah.
The flesh dies?
Yeah.
Well, what's death according to you?
The separation of the spirit from the flesh.
Yeah. Can we say that? Yeah. Can we say that the flesh separates itself from the spirit and the body?
Sure.
We'll chime in on her.
Yeah, but you said death is a separation of soul and
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's biblically what the definition
It seems
of
like
death would be.
everybody wants to
Okay.
play with the
But
flesh
it's the
spirit
person that
and
separates
don't know
himself,
nothing
right?
about
Not
the
the
history
flesh.
on earth.
What do
They
you,
want to talk
what do you
about
mean by
spirit.
Yeah, if I die, my body, right, separates from my soul, correct?
We'll
Your
find
soul,
that out.
it's a separation.
Is
We'll see what we got. Who else we got?
understand the semantics of stuff, right? Or just breaking it down and just
So I was a Hebrew Israelite, and then I got saved by grace. So in 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 10, I am what I am by the grace of God, and His grace towards me did not turn out to be in vain, but I labor more than all of them, yet not I, but the grace with me. So I believe salvation is for all men that call on the name of the Lord. Yeah, what's your take? You think salvation is for the world or just for the Israelites?
It's for the Israelites. I mean, Christ didn't die for the whole world to be saved. He died for His people. It is salvation within it, but Christ only came for the 144, 12,000 from each tribe.
Who anointed Christ?
So can I read something for you?
The Most High anointed Christ.
Yeah, we'd like to know who anointed Christ and with what.
So can I read something for you?
Yeah, you can.
All right, so it says in Hebrews chapter 2, verse 9, it says, "But we do see him who was made for a little while lower than the angels, namely Jesus, because of the suffering of death crowned with glory and honor, so that by the grace of God he may taste death for everyone." What does that mean to you?
False prophecy. Because Jesus don't have any prophets if He's God. For some reason, God sends prophets.
Jesus not God.
Exactly. So for some reason,
God sends
Jesus
prophets.
not God.
So I'm asking you, so what does that
they don't let me
What?
chime in.
I mean, who's going to live in the star? Who's going to live in the sun?
Let's see, they're gonna let me get
It's
it.
still when we grew up.
But these people, they said, oh, Jesus coming back,
Ain't that, that's it, y'all.
2025.
Y'all want that
Remember the
in.
year Millennium 2000?
So it seems like I'm gonna have to wait for the Most High.
Right? Oh, the world's gonna end. The computer's gonna crash. You know, I'm getting
help
tired
us
of
get
it. So I asked him, okay,
a couple
you
people
said
so we can have this conversation. So it seems like
This
nobody
is
wants to have an
2026.
earthly conversation prior to going to
Especially
heaven.
these people and the Christian
This
people,
is
they
weird,
go
y'all.
out and, oh
This
yeah,
is weird
Jesus
as hell.
is this. How do you know? How do you, how do you gonna say, man? I mean, I believe whatever I see, what I get. What I see, what I get, man. That's why I asked them, prove it to me there's a God. They can't prove it to me.
We have the Torah. We don't go and claim to everybody. If you don't believe the Torah, you go to hell. We don't care.
To the guy that don't believe.
It's none of our business. You want to believe? Believe. You want to take the
will.
To the guy.
That's fine.
If I can say something to the guy that don't believe in God, try this. Just try it. It ain't gonna hurt. It's only 10 things. 10 commandments. Just try it. For 10 days, read the 10 commandments and pick any of the 10 and just try it for 10 days. And see if there's a God. Just try it. No argument. No this or that.
So,
Just
okay, so if you go up the mountain, right? And I can go up the mountain right now and then pray. And I come down there and I tell you I saw Jesus, I saw God.
That's not what we're saying. We're saying go to 10 commandments and try out the 10 commandments. Just try these 10 things. That's it. Like it's liquor, your favorite girlfriend, your favorite porno. Just take these 10 commandments and just try them for 2 weeks. Just do them for 2 weeks and you will see if there's a God. That's it. I've done it all these years. I teach this for over 30 years. I haven't had a problem from anybody yet. So just take the 10 commandments and order 42 laws of Ma'at, which is 52 weeks in a year, and try each one for a week for a whole year. And if you don't see God, I would never speak again. And I've been speaking every day for the past 30 years.
Are you a Christian?
No, I am a Hebrew Muslim. I submit to the will of God and the God of Abraham.
You're a Hebrew Muslim. What is a Hebrew Muslim? Is that a new thing?
No.
Hebrew Muslim?
No.
Hebrew Muslim? What are you talking about?
Do you want to hear it, or are you gonna close your ears? Do you want to hear it?
Come on, are you gonna claim I'm
Once again, do you want to hear it? Yes or no, bro?
No.
Okay, cool then.
Not really.
Okay then, cool. Stay in Islam in your moon worship, and stay in Christianity in your sun worship. I'm okay with that.
No,
it's not Abraham.
It was the most stupidest religion that I ever seen. Like
what is the religion of Abraham? What is the religion of Abraham then? Because it wasn't Islam or no Christianity. So what is Abraham?
You know that half of your Quran is from the Mishnah and from
we didn't say nothing about the Quran, bro. Bro, we said nothing about the Quran. We're talking about Abraham. We're talking about Abraham. See what I'm saying? See, they never stick around. They never stick around for the actual conversation.
One of the new watches that Patek Philippe came out with.
So whether God is real. Because if God is a concept, does that imply that he is simply a concept that's societally implemented?
They won't try it. They won't try it.
Because we could look at it as that God is societally implemented in afterlife, but
Peace and greetings.
At the end of the day, it could be a concept implemented throughout society while also, like, being a real thing and being, an in actual existence while being discovered through human existence.
Yo, bro, the prompt is pretty bold. You're going pretty deep.
Yeah, sorry. Like, if maybe I'm breaking this down too much, that's fine. But if you'd like, just leave with me.
No, you're not breaking it down too much. You're actually not giving anybody a opportunity to respond.
Sure,
you're literally up here thinking out loud.
What's the subject? What's the subject?
Sir, can you please wait your turn?
Thank you.
Well, I'm sorry if it came across that way, but if you'd like to enlighten me with any thoughts that you had.
Stop. I'm going to completely delete and erase what you consider to be an apology, and I'm going to let you know something first and foremost. I don't like lies, and that apology was a lie because you said, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. That's not holding yourself accountable. It's not acknowledging it.
Damn birds. What they come around here for?
You can't come in, steamroll, have nothing to contribute on the topic at hand, and then tell me that you're sorry if I imagined a thing. Anywhere from what the goalpost is and what the topic is.
Okay.
By trying to dissect a question that was already
All right.
fleshed
Where
out
we at
for
here?
you.
So we're gonna let this roll
Makes
out.
no
Damn, I
sense.
can't
It
see
means that at this whole point in time,
if there's anybody
you weren't even
listening.
paying attention to what you were saying to talk.
What's this?
And when we went to bring you back on topic, you decided you wanted to run off into the woods again. I'm not going to babysit you. If you're not going to be on topic, then I'm just going to move on to the next person.
Okay, well, I believe God is real. So,
That's
what is
irrelevant.
the dichotomy?
It is irrelevant if you believe it or not. Isn't it?
Well,
Did I ask you? Did I ask you if God is real? Did I say, please prove your God is real? Remember, when I opened my mouth and I said something about the Philbro argument, you decided it was time for you to shine. But now all of a sudden you forgot the purpose of the conversation.
Okay, sorry. Enlighten me.
Need the landmarks on the screen.
Yeah, Universe A, God is real.
The question thoroughly asks itself.
Yeah, which is it? I believe it's Universe A, God is real. But then you said you didn't ask me. But the prompt is asking.
You said you believe God is real. I'm asking which universe is it? If it's Universe A, what substantiates Universe A being significantly different from Universe B?
Okay, that's a whole other question. So I believe.
Because here's the thing, I already explained it to you, that you were talking to me about a God concept, meaning that you were standing in Universe B trying to convince me that Universe A is real based on what, Aristotle?
But you've created
which, by the way, his science is how far outdated?
It's funny because
And
they
we've
use
learned
logos.
way much more than him. So now a lot of his philosophy cannot be utilized today as a modern philosophy.
It was funny.
It's very heavily implemented throughout.
The other person y'all heard mentioned logos.
It doesn't matter if it aids to philosophical thought.
And he don't believe in
Philosophy
God,
is still just
remember?
a school of asking questions, is it not? Notice how it's
But
not answering anything.
when you listen, right? I see that.
Philosophy is actually attempting to answer
There's a whole bunch of gods.
Philosophy is attempting to
And they're
ask
real because
really
they
good
manifest their
questions.
gods.
Philosophy sits at the base of our
And
sciences. It asks
it's
the
in their
questions, we utilize
conscience.
science to get the
Their
answers.
gods
If we can.
is in their conscience.
So is
and they're giving
the
their
judicial
conscience
system a byproduct
to a
of
God.
science, then?
Like
Because
put your
the
conscience
judicial
into the
system,
computer.
Whether or not we are in
Put your
Universe A or
conscience into a
Universe
golem.
B.
Put your conscience
That's
into
the
the cell
proposition
phone.
that you made. I'm simply responding.
What isn't?
There's gods
No, it
on
isn't.
TV
What
every
you
day.
did was a pivot. And I need you
They're
to
not
stay
talking
focused
about the
because
Holy,
you're now wasting my fucking
the Most High.
Okay, I'm
They're
more
talking
than happy
about
to
something
answer you.
under.
You've created a dichotomy.
I'm listening to it. Listen,
me
they're
because
arguing.
you've been parading
And she's still
stupid
arguing with the same
questions
guy.
around as if they are some kind of status symbol, telling me that philosophy, which merely asks questions, is doing a goddamn good job through Aristotle to say what?
Okay. You have created a dichotomy between Universe A and Universe B. I can't see how both don't exist simultaneously. Because to
That
say that
isn't my problem. You are to argue for universe A. Don't worry about why it can't be both. I didn't ask you that. I asked you to go ahead and give me a good, sound argument, a position of universe A that makes it something plausible. Like I said, it's a very narrow way to get to it, and I've only met one person that literally took the time out to figure this shit out. She's all the way at the bottom of the panel. Hi.
So, okay. You asked me to make a claim regarding universe A or universe B. So, regardless if you want to acknowledge the dichotomy between the two, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine. I personally believe it is universe A, and I gave you my argument for that, and that was Aristotle's interpretation of it. So that's my argument for it. How do you respond?
See, I need more context of what you are explaining what Aristotle said, because you're referencing it, but there's not a lot of explanation for it, of what exactly that is.
Yeah, sure. I'm more than happy to elaborate on certain points. So, Aristotle is basically just arguing that, like, the gist of it is that it acts upon the act potency model of change, and, I could pull it up in a syllogism, but, like, to simplify it, it's essentially saying that, we don't have to observe change as something that happens across a span of time, meaning that change is occurring currently, and if we act upon the act potency model of change, then potency and the actualization of change cannot occur infinitely. It cannot regress infinitely, meaning that there must be a binding source, which is pure actualization, which is what is meant by a god by its definition, in order to inhibit the change of all other things which are changing.
Right, so with that being said, this is what I'm getting out of this. And going through my notes again of what I kind of like rambled on earlier about this when this topic came up. This is like an idea of consciousness is emergent. Neurons plus feedback loop plus time equals awareness in that regard. So even so, with that being said, it doesn't require a creation for that to be a thing of existence. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm not arguing that it does.
So, what are we arguing then?
I'm arguing it's not necessarily creation, it's more just actualization, if that makes sense. So it basically says that, like, we can assume that the Big Bang did happen. And,
Why are we calling it Big Bang when that is not even the description of it? That is not exactly what scientists believe happened. Why are we calling it the Big Bang?
It's cool.
I always wondered that.
Did anybody ask? But did anybody inquire of the ineffable Most High about what a God is and isn't?
Stop.
It's not your first word.
Stop. No, that's just annoying. Turn or not, that's just annoying. Don't do that.
A better name for it would be cosmic expansion theory.
Thank you. Or the Great Expansion. Me, I'm in love with the Big Bounce.
Oh, I haven't heard that one.
No? So let's look at something. You said something that is inherently wrong. There is nothing in logic that prevents an infinite regress. I'm so sorry. Why would you think that just because Aristotle couldn't think further, that's it?
Could I elaborate on that point specifically a little bit?
No, I don't want to, because it was already wrong. There is nothing in logic that prevents an infinite regress. As a matter of fact, by saying an infinite cannot go on infinitely is to contradict the statement in and of itself. It shows absolute lack of understanding the difference between infinite and
I locked my hadith is authentic and stuff because Bukhari equals which
niggas say I'm ugly. Like, thanks.
One says this. So Isaiah 59:1 says, "Behold, the Lord's hand is not shorted, that it cannot save, nor his ears heavy, that it cannot hear. But your iniquity, which is sin, have separated you from your God." Do y'all not understand that sin?
God uses the foolish things to confound the wise.
How? Okay.
Yes.
Cool. Do you understand the Trinity ontology?
Oh, this is like about.
Yeah, this is a live for Muslims and see if they understand the Trinity ontology.
Oh yeah. God bless you. I live.
Do y'all know Muslims have nothing to do with Islam? I just want to make that clear.
I just want to say that Orthodox Muslim.
You're fine.
I just want to say Orthodox Muslim is the biggest idiot in the world. That's what I just wanted to say.
Verse Matthew 19, verse 29. That's what it was.
Hey, God bless you, man. Ciao. So, okay, I'm sorry.
World.
Hi. Thanks for coming to the live.
I just want to chime in. I noticed the word Muslim. Muslim is not synonymous to Islam. Just want to share that, make that clear, because I'm a Hebrew Muslim.
Okay, so clarify.
So to clarify is this. All these religions claim to be Abraham and don't know anything about Abraham's life, when he already said that the sun, moon, and stars were not gods, and that his father Terah was selling statues that represent the sun, moon, and stars, who was gods. So now we have
Where is this written?
This is in the Apocrypha of Abraham, and parts of it is in the Bible. The Apocrypha of Abraham.
In where? Hold on. Where?
It's called the Apocrypha of Abraham, and bits and pieces are in the Bible.
Yeah. So when was the Apocrypha of Abraham written?
During the time of Genesis, when him and his father Terah had left Haran.
Yeah. So can you give me a source that gives me the original text?
The book of Jasher, mentioned in the book of Isaiah in the New Testament, where it says, we remember in the book of Jasher.
1600 book.
No, it's not.
Jasher is a 1600 book, bro.
Once again, if you do
what's Jasher to that exists.
Oh, okay. I got this. I hear what you're saying. Well, let's go to Jesus' words, right? He says that many have come in my name.
Sir, do you concede that the book of Jasher is a book written in the 1600s?
And do you conceive that the same word Jasher was mentioned in the Bible? Did you know that? So who's?
I'm not doubting that the book of Jasher existed in the claim to Jasher existing is in the Bible. I'm saying the book that you're claiming is a book written in the 1600s. Do you concede?
Once again, if the book of Jasher is mentioned in the Bible, all that you're saying is irrelevant. So there is a reference point. In the Bible, all that you're saying is irrelevant. So
are you saying of the servants of the Lord?
They don't want to hear nothing, man. I'll talk to y'all later.